welcome. We have Pangere here, and welcome to NWIBRT's first Meet the Contractor webinar series that we are hosting. This is a new series that NWIBRT's going to be rolling out with. We're going to highlight different members of NWIBRT and contractors and project owners in the area, what they're doing, how they do it, and different projects they're working on, and all kinds of information that you might find valuable. These will be running 30 minutes. They'll be the first and the third Wednesday of every month, starting at 11:30. And we're excited about these. So if you'd like to participate, contact us at NWIBRT, and we can get you signed up to facilitate one of these series. My name is Stephanie Vandiver. I am new to NWIBRT, but I will be helping coordinate and manage webinars and golf outings and all of the fun stuff that we will have going on in the future. I just want to take a quick run through of the GoToWebinar platform for anyone who isn't comfortable with it or hasn't used it yet. Anyone who's attending is automatically in muted mode, so you don't have to worry about any of your volume coming through. If you notice the slide, you can see that. If you have any questions for Pangere during the presentation that you'd like to be asked at the end during the Q&A, please type them in. You can see where the arrow is pointing, and then send it to us. We will present those to Pangere at the end, and we want to try and get through as many questions as we can, but we might not get to all of them in the time period. There will also be a survey that you will receive following the presentation. So we would appreciate any feedback that you can give us on the webinar and on NWIBRT in general, and how we can better serve our members. That being said, I will now cut to the main attraction here, which is Pangere, and let them introduce themselves and enjoy.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Steve Pangere, president of the Pangere Corporation. I would like to commend the Northwest Indiana Business Roundtable and Andrea Pierman for initiating this web series, Meet the Contractor, and for the opportunity to present the Pangere Corporation. I would like to also thank Andrea's staff, and especially Stephanie Vandiver. Stephanie was outstanding, and she went above and beyond. Joining me this morning on your right and to my left is Mary Sola. Next to Mary is Debbie Carollo, and on your right and on your left and to my right next to me is Tony Pangere and Don Hancock. Also, I would like to introduce Ms. Hope Pangere. Hope is my seeing eye dog. Currently, she's under the table. She's resting comfortably, and I want to assure you that it won't be us that's snoring, it's Hope that's snoring. The Pangere Corporation is a commercial and industrial contractor. I will provide information on the commercial side, and Tony will address the industrial side. As a commercial general contractor, we offer a wide array of construction services, which include new construction, renovation, remodeling, and design build services. We self-perform carpentry, steel erection, installation of architectural metal panels, and the installation of insulated wall and roof panels. Our markets include healthcare, education, retail, gaming, and public sector work, to name a few. Our most recent project was the construction of a 127,000 square foot, 4-story healthcare facility in Crown Point for Community Healthcare Systems. The Stroke and Rehabilitation Center was a 2-year project, which included 40 subcontractors and over 200 field personnel. A few of our other projects included construction of community health net centers. They're located in Gary and Maryville, White Castle in Maryville, several renovation projects for Purdue University Northwest, Indiana University Northwest, Ivy Tech Community College, Methodist Hospital, Aldi's, and Munster High School. I believe that many of us contractors began 2020 with optimism, and then the deadly virus COVID invaded the world. This virus became part of a perfect storm, upending and disrupting daily living. For many months, we all struggled economically, academically, socially, and personally while trying to regain normalcy. There is considerable uncertainty, apprehension, frustration, fearfulness, and anger with current events and circumstances. It's apparent that many of our employees have these emotions and are concerned about the future of themselves and their families. Our organizations are facing complex challenges with no clear-cut solutions. One of the initiatives, and we have several, is we have implemented targeted job site specific training. These training workshops are held weekly. They're led by our employees and are collaborative. We have many talented, experienced, and knowledgeable employees that can share their unique perspectives. I believe that this training helps employees re-engage and it increases productivity. It sends a powerful message to the individual that we are investing in them because they are a vital part of the success of this organization. The growth of our employees is the growth of our company. I'd like to turn it over to Tony.
All right, thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Tony Pangere. I am the Vice President and Director of Safety at the Pangere Corporation. And I oversee not just the safety department, but a number of our divisions that do have a focus on industrial, but not necessarily limited to that kind of construction. Our divisions include pre-engineered metal buildings, structural steel erection and repair, metal roofing and siding, as well as painting, both in the field and in our shop. I'll start with our pre-engineered metal building division. We've been in the market for over 30 years, and our work covers a variety of projects from design build to build to spec. To give an example of the variety of type of projects we do, we've done multi-building design build, power plants to your local community centers and churches. There's quite a bit of variety in the types of customers who will benefit from pre-engineered metal buildings. In Northwest Indiana, we've done a number of projects that include office, factory space, such as Indiana Pickling and Processing in the Port of Indiana, as well as the Quick Lane Oil Change Center in Hobart. I want to mention that, going in line with these pre-engineered metal buildings, the Pangere Corporation was actually the first union contractor in the country to receive what's called the AC 478 Metal Building Assembler Certification. The certification was a review of our quality and safety management programs, and the review process was actually quite rigorous, included on-site inspections, and it's just something that we've been very proud of. It's something that allows people to know that we're able to complete these metal building projects, to spec, to code, with little or no issues or mishaps. Next, I'll focus on our structural steel division.
Here we go.
I have a little bit of technical difficulties here. Our structural steel division focuses on new construction, maintenance, and repairs. That can include anything from the new 4-story community stroke and rehab center in Crown Point to overhead crane installation to girder repair, and even smaller projects such as the installation of stairs and handrails. I'd say the structural division gets a lot of unique projects, and at least on the industrial and maintenance side, we have a lot of fast-paced projects as most of our customers demand a quick turnaround on anything they have to do. Our metal roofing and siding division, something we've been in have a division we've had for quite some time, focuses on new construction as well as the maintenance, repairs, inspections, as well as facility upgrades. There's a lot of focus in this division on what products will benefit our customers the most over the long term. A recent example is we had a facility here in Northwest Indiana that had a pretty significantly harsh chemical environment. And what we did was we replaced a lot of the secondary structure as well as the wall with fiberglass materials that cut down not only on the maintenance required, but on repairs from normal wear and tear. Another product in the division we've seen a lot of promise with and growth is roof over roof installations. This is where instead of ripping off a roof, we just install an engineered roof system over an existing roof, allows our customers to continue operating their businesses and reduces the time and cost associated with tearing off the old roof. I will finish up with our painting division, which by far is our oldest division. We started in 1905 as a painting contractor. We've painted refineries, steel mills, wastewater treatment plants, a number of things. One of the things in our painting division that is a big part of our business, but yet often we don't talk about, is actually our shop painting facilities here in Gary. We've got great facilities and we're able to paint quite a few things at a fraction of the cost of what it would cost to do on site. We actually have had some interesting things come in, one of them being a old Sherman tank monument that we blasted and painted here in the back. But I would say that the majority of customers for this division are component and equipment providers. I do want to finish up pointing out one project we did. We painted what is now Bankers Life Fieldhouse when it was built and formerly known as Conseco Fieldhouse. I'm going to turn it over to Don Hancock, our safety coordinator, to talk a little bit about safety.
Good morning. I am the safety coordinator for the Pangere Corporation, and my primary job as safety coordinator is implement the policy into the field, the safety policy into the field. I wanted to share a couple of ways that we do that with you. The number one way we do that is through site audits. In fact, last year we had over 300 site audits in our industrial, commercial, and hospital facilities. With that many different settings, there's many different standards and hazards to be aware of. And there's really no way that one person can be aware of all those different regulations and hazards. That kind of segues me into my second job that I wanted to talk about, and that's attending training seminars, owner safety meetings, different training seminars that we take at the CAF, and various contractor meetings like the NWIBRT. The reason that these are so important is there's many different specialists at these meetings, many different people that work specifically in one of the industries that I mentioned. They're great assets for us to use, and they share the information willingly with us. Another one of the jobs that I do that I find very interesting and challenging is the writing of site-specific safety plans. A site-specific safety plan is a safety plan for a specific job. The reason this is so interesting and challenging to me is the plan changes as the job proceeds. The hazards and the regulations are different when we're doing excavation than they are when we're doing the final clean to turn a product over to the customer. Steve and Tony both mentioned the Community Stroke and Rehabilitation Center in Crown Point. On that job, we were the general contractor as well as the controlling contractor. The controlling contractor is responsible for the safety of all people on that site. Steve mentioned we had 40 subcontractors and over 200 tradesmen on that site. It's very hard to get your own people to follow all the safety rules, let alone 200 people who are working for you indirectly. The work was tedious, but we delivered that product at the end without one OSHA recordable incident on that site. Another site-specific safety plan I wanted to talk about, and the picture was in the stream earlier, was a steel mill we did in Iowa. That site-specific safety plan included over 50 helicopter lifts. We use these helicopter lifts to move tonnage of material from a staging area off-site to a staging area on the roof of the steel mill. This steel mill was fully manned and producing steel while this project took place. This site-specific safety plan required communication, planning, and training. It was all very vital to this site-specific safety plan. The last thing I wanted to go over quickly was the training that Steve talked about in our company. Our training is continuous, and it's not just for our field people. We do have continuous field training for them through site audits, toolbox talks, and quarterly safety meetings, but our training is continuous for our team inside the office as well. Some of the training and certifications that I've received over the last couple of years is what I wanted to talk about next. First is ICRA, which is Infectious Control Risk Assessment. These are a set of standards and best practices for hospital construction. When we start jobs in a hospital, you can't just go rolling in with your tools and your material and start constructing walls and demolishing other walls. There's immune compromised patients around every corner in these hospitals. These standards have to be followed. All of the carpenters that work for the Pangere Corporation are ICRA certified. The second certification I wanted to talk to you about is Asbestos Abatement Supervisor. I've become licensed in the state of Illinois and Indiana as an asbestos abatement supervisor. Where this comes into play is when our iron workers are working in the mills and our laborers are working in the mills, occasionally they run across asbestos-containing material or presumed asbestos-containing material. This certification allows me to teach our guys how to safely work around this material, including abatement, encapsulation, or just leaving it alone altogether. Many of our steel mill customers are requiring someone on staff at the contractor have an asbestos abatement license before they even allow them to bid on contracts. The last two certifications I wanted to talk about are kind of near and dear to my heart. The first one is Fire Stop Instructor. What a fire stop instructor does is in the facilities we work in the settings we work in, there's firewalls that run throughout schools or hospitals or government centers. These firewalls are designed to limit the spread of fire and smoke and allow the fire department to fight fires without having to completely evacuate buildings if that's a need. Anytime there's a penetration that goes through these firewalls, be it mechanical, electrical, or plumbing, the fire rating has to be restored back to the firewall. The certifications we received and we teach our people follow a series of underwriter laboratory listings to restore the rating back to the original rating of the wall. It's so important and so vital in construction right now. Unions are starting to teach this in their apprenticeship program. The last certification I wanted to talk about is Fire Door Inspector. There's approximately 20 union carpenters in the United States that have this certification. 6 of those carpenters work for the Pangere Corporation. What this certification means is we can walk into a hospital setting or an educational setting and do an inspection of all the fire or smoke doors that they have in the firewalls. I mentioned earlier penetrations coming through firewalls. Usually the largest penetration in a firewall is the door that allows you to get into a room. The fire rating has to be restored around these doors as well as any of the other penetrations that I talked about. There's many different components that make up the fire door, and the training was over 100 hours to get this certification. That was followed with a 4-hour test that has to be renewed every year. I could go on and talk a lot more about these things, but I don't want to take all the time, so I'll turn the time over now to Mary Sola.
Good morning. My name is Mary Sola. I am the corporate secretary and the governance officer. I've worked for Pangere for more than 35 years. One of my responsibilities is to review customer contracts and the accompanying documentation, with particular attention to areas such as indemnification, warranties, liquidated damage clauses, pay clauses, and change order procedures. I discuss my review with the project managers, pointing out any areas of concern. On occasion, a subcontractor will request a modification to the Pangere's subcontract. I review this request to determine if it is contrary to the customer's requirements or to Pangere's requirements. I do discuss certain issues involving legal matters with our Pangere's counsel. Another responsibility involves human resources. This includes overseeing the Building and Resource Center drug and alcohol program, working with Pangere employees and our agent regarding the health, life, and disability insurance coverages, working with Debbie and Pangere's third-party administrator regarding the retirement program. With regard to advertising and promotion, I've had a part in working with diversified marketing strategies in ad campaigns and other promotional areas. Thank you, and now I'll turn it over to Debbie.
Thank you, Mary. Good morning. My name is Debbie Carollo, and I'm the controller of the Pangere Corporation. I've been with the company for over 29 years. I oversee the day-to-day financial activities of our company. Some of my responsibilities include monthly financial statement preparation, job cost analysis, overseeing accounts payable and accounts receivable, and payroll. I coordinate our annual financial, workers' comp, and union audits. I also work with our bonding company and bank. Some of my other responsibilities are in the areas of IT and software. I work with our outside IT company to oversee our network and maintain our file server. I also coordinate with our customers working with them on any in-house software that they may require us to use, applications like Track or TabSource and Ariba. I'm also the administrator for our accounting and project management software. We have been Viewpoint users since 2017. Prior to that change, we used standalone software for accounting, invoicing and timesheets, and individual Excel spreadsheets for our project management functions. There were no integrated software components. We recognized that we needed to access and deliver information faster and with greater integrity. Our customers needed real-time information. Internally, because of the lack of integration, we were doing a lot of things twice, and we spent a lot of time looking for information. In making the change to Viewpoint, we were able to integrate accounting, invoicing, job cost, human resource, and project management functions. We think the software has helped us to streamline processes and provide better information faster. We've most noticeably noticed enhancements in the following areas within our payroll functions, invoicing, and project management, to name a few. Viewpoint has also helped us to, it's provided us with a central location to house critical corporate documents. For example, our employee W-4s, our purchase orders from customers, our subcontracts. This has allowed us to hold information in one place with easy access to those documents. One of the other reasons for purchasing Viewpoint was we saw their commitment to software development and enhancement. Since our original purchase, we have also added Viewpoint Teams to our software components. Viewpoint Teams is a web-based product which enhances our project management capabilities, field tracking and accounts payable approval process, and human resource functions. One of the driving factors in making the decision to purchase this application was our field personnel. Our carpenters attended superintendent training sessions out in Las Vegas where they learned about Viewpoint Teams. They came back wanting to incorporate that into our software products. We are currently in the process of implementing the field tracking components of this application, specifically when it comes to remote field time entry and accounts payable approval processes. All this can be done through tablets and smartphones. Finally, I'm involved in training. We have focused on Viewpoint over the last year, as well as document handling and file management. One of the interesting parts of our training sessions is that they're collaborative. We involve our field personnel, project management, and accounting departments, as well as support personnel. Everyone has a say in the process and coming up with better solutions. It's helped us this year to improve our communications, and we've seen buy-in and ownership to these processes and improvements. With that, that ends my part of the discussion, and I'll turn it back to Steve.
Great job, everyone. Thank you. Stephanie, we're ready for your questions.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, our first question that we have is, I think for Steve, how long have you had Hope, and what does Hope do for you?
Oh, okay. I love that question. I could talk about Hope all day. I've had Hope for over 12 and a half years. And I got her when she was 2 years old. Most working dogs can work from 6 to 9. I'm very lucky. Hope is a lab and a golden retriever. What has she done for me? She's given me independence, and she's given me, what's the word I want to use? But I can't think of it right now. But Hope has saved my life 3 times. She has learned what they call intelligent disobedience. And it would take me a long time to explain it, but Hope would never have me go in front of a car or walk off a cliff. And the other word I was looking for is dignity. She's gave me dignity because I hate holding somebody's arm and walking around. Okay, thanks.
That's awesome. Okay, this is a question that just came in through the webinar. Do you see non-union encroachment in the region as a problem?
Tony, you want to take that one?
I would say that there was an expectation probably years ago that we would see more non-union coming in. It's something that we, quite frankly, have been watching and are worried for. But I'd say as of right now, we haven't lost any business due to it. It's definitely a concern though.
Hey, Donnie, have you seen anything since you're out in the field quite a bit? Have you heard anything?
No, I haven't seen a lot about it, and there are some jobs where you go by that it's non-union stuff. But I would say a counterpoint to that is the training that we give our people for doing their job and the training we give our people for safety more than makes up for the non-union companies that are coming in and trying to undercut the business.
I just want to add to that, non-union, when you talk about non-union, we try to block it out. They can do the same thing we can do. We just have to do it a lot better, and I think that we do. And our training is way ahead of the game than non-union. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Another one. You mentioned that a lot of times you'll have your field employees who are driving the processes you do or acquisition of different software or methods that you're using in business. How do you bridge that gap and improve communication between your employees that you have working in the field and your office support team?
That's for you, Debbie.
Okay, I think, first of all, we listen to them. We know that what the challenges they face in the field, we're here to help them help make their jobs easier. The training that we're doing, we're very much focused on bringing everybody to the table. It isn't just office staff, support staff, or project management. We want the field to come in. I know we do that with safety, but we also do it with some of the software. As I said, that we did with Viewpoint Teams, that was field driven. They thought that was going to make their lives easier, and they were willing to take that on, and we listened to them. I think that we've also used our Office 365 projects with SharePoint to collaborate with the field. They have access to project documents. We make sure that they can get their hands on and know every part of that project. So.
Thanks, Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, thank you. In regard, Don, you spoke a lot about safety and the programs that you have. How do you get your employees to buy into safety programs? And in regard to COVID and everything that's going on in the world, do you see that changing anything?
I don't see the safety aspect of it changing so much as COVID, because a lot of times in our facilities where we have the ICRA standard, we're already above and beyond what they're implementing for COVID now, other than taking temperature and telling people to go home when they're sick. But one of the best ways that we get our employees active and to buy into our safety program is we have quarterly safety meetings. And we have every employee in the field come in here, and Steve and Tony buy breakfast for all of our employees, and they come in here and they sit here for a period of time. And we often ask one of our field foremen or our apprentices to give a demonstration speech or to give a small speech on something that they've seen or something they've experienced. And it goes a long way in getting people towards the buy into it. And I would add that you talked a little bit about technology and everything. Another thing that our employees love is reporting near misses or minor accidents with their telephone and their laptops. It happens in real-time speed, and it's easier for us to document that way as well.
When you serve food, we have perfect attendance.
Yes.
I think that's usually the case, right?
Right.
Yeah. I did real quick want to add, I think one of the biggest things and the reason we've been able to have such a good culture here is, Donnie's out there. I think he knows everyone who comes in and works for this company. We do set an expectation early on, and I think just continually letting these guys know we mean what we say. Mm-hmm. And once we've set that culture, it takes over.
There's a respect.
Cool. Well, thank you guys. We're at time now. It's gone by quick. Thank you so much for all of your information, to Pangere, for all of the effort and energy you put into offering your wisdom to everyone. Thank you so much to all of our attendees who registered and participated. We appreciate it. Like I said, there will be a survey that's going to be coming out that you'll receive following this, and we would appreciate any feedback that you can give us so that we're creating content and events that are around what NWIBRT members want and want to see. And with that, we'll close here. Everyone have a great day, and thank you so much for being part of this
Thank you so much.
webinar.
Bye.